Mid-America Industrial Park's Living Grand on Grand Lake is presented by Cherokee Grove Casino and made possible by
The Tech Lab is specifically designed to build drones. We have the opportunity at each workstation to 3D print any drone body that a learner could imagine. The sponsors for this lab are Mid-America Industrial Park and Google. They have been absolute phenomenal partners in this endeavor.
The ribbon cutting today is important because it represents not only collaboration between our businesses and Mid-America and the community, but it also represents the STEM initiative that we have promoted throughout the school system, which essentially gives kids the skill sets necessary to have a career in technology. This is the most rewarding part of my job because this is the future.
Watched by viewers and members like you.
This week on Living Grand on Grand Lake, we'll hit the lake with a local wakeboarding expert who makes it look way too easy. Building a bridge and a new building to high-tech dentistry in Grove, and homemade cooking with all the fixings. All this and more coming up next on Living Grand on Grand Lake.
And this is Living Grand on Grand Lake.
This is Living Grand on Grand Lake.
This is Living Grand on Grand Lake.
Wakeboarding is one of my favorite sports. To watch, that is. With riders soaring high and flipping and twisting their way across the wake, it's an awesome sight for all to see. We were lucky enough to spend some time with Braden Weiss, a Grand Lake wakeboarding legend. We've lost count of how many tournaments he's won, but after you watch Braden hit the water, you won't forget how awesome this athlete really is.
I've grown up on the lake my whole life. I started wakeboarding when I was 7 years old, started competing when I was 14 or 15. It started out for fun, and then it turned into a little bit of a competition between me and my older brother. Once I started doing flips and stuff, he kind of bailed out and left it to the younger brother to take over. The feeling's ecstatic. It's crazy because it's something you just dream to do, you work hard to do, and then out of nowhere you finally land your first flip. It took me 3 tries to land that backflip that I did out here. Right before a competition, I had 2 hours until we competed. Hopped on my buddy's boat and he said, "You're gonna try this." I tried it 2 times, got mad at myself, got up on the swim platform, and his dad said, "No, get back in the water, you're landing this, you're right there, just hold on to the handle." Rode away and haven't felt more ecstatic since, even landing more tricks. It's nothing like your first try, or your first trick. I met Jerry Cookson at my first competition, and once I saw the guys really getting out there and going way bigger than I thought I would ever go, I just had a drive and a passion, starting from a young age to seeing the guys out there going huge. It's something that just drops your jaw and makes you want to go do it. I've won quite a few, honestly. A lot of second place and third place finishes, a lot of podium finishes. Everybody out there's competing. They're out there for fun, and it's not as cutthroat as a lot of people think. Everybody wants to win, but it's more of a family event that is just a bond and a connection. You build new friends, but I have won quite a few. My favorite boat is a Malibu. I've rode Malibu my whole life. Not to be biased, because there are a lot of good wakeboard boats out there, and even newer ones they're coming out with forward-facing stern drives versus your Malibu and your typical wakeboard boats are V drives. The Malibu is as you could say, Corvette of the water. A lot of comparisons could be made. They're luxury, they're sleek, they're family friendly, their space is incredible depending, or not depending on what boat you get. You can get the 21 foot and you still just feel like you have a lot more space in the boat, no matter how small it is. They run great. Very few problems have ever occurred with our Malibu. They're just, like I said, the Corvette of the water. If I was teaching you how to wakeboard, it would basically start off with really getting comfortable on the board. The hardest part is getting up on the board. That's the biggest milestone. Once you do that, it's getting comfortable on the board. It's learning how to carve on your edges. It's learning how to control that board and make it do what you want to do. And once you get further past that, you want to start jumping wakes. When you want to jump wake to wake, you need to take an easy cut, but an aggressive edge. You want to keep your weight even between your feet and kind of a squatted position, and once you hit the top of that wake, the biggest thing is patience. Wait until you're at the top and then really just extend like you're trying to jump as high as you can. And as you're coming down, you want to keep looking to where you're going. Look down, go down's the saying. As you land, you really got to compress, and that's the trickiest part for a lot of people, is keeping that board under them. Grand Lake is one of my favorite places because it is so gorgeous. Anywhere you go, there is a sight to be seen. You can find coves anywhere that are just peaceful. You can find houses along the lake that just drop your jaw. Everything about Grand Lake is just beautiful and fun, and there's no place I'd rather be.
So we'll be following Braden's career, and we hope you will too. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more on Living Grand on Grand Lake.
And I am here living grand on Grand Lake.
This is Living Grand on Grand Lake.
This is Living Grand on Grand Lake.
The Tech Lab is specifically designed to build drones. We have the opportunity at each workstation to 3D print any drone body that a learner could imagine. The sponsors for this lab are Mid-America Industrial Park and Google. They have been absolute phenomenal partners in this endeavor.
The ribbon cutting today is important because it represents not only collaboration between our businesses and Mid-America and the community, but it also represents the STEM initiative that we have promoted throughout the school system, which essentially gives kids the skill sets necessary to have a career in technology. This is the most rewarding part of my job because this is the future.
Hello, our safety tip for today is what we're required to have in our vessel. Number one is a life jacket for every passenger in the boat. Make sure it fits everyone, and we have one for everybody that's going to be with us for that day. Another required item is a throw cushion, a simple device that we can throw to somebody that's in trouble in the water. If we are to have trouble on the water with our vessel, we are to have a simple paddle that would help us get to the shoreline or help us to get to a dock so we can wait for help. Along those lines, if we can't paddle to safety, we're required to have an anchor. We can simply throw this out and just wait for somebody to come and help us. If our vessel is to take on water, one of the required things to have is some type of a bailing device. It could be a simple bucket, an ice chest, or anything that we can use to bail water out of the boat if it begins taking on water. Another thing we always want to keep in the vessel is a fire extinguisher. Make sure that you inspect these periodically to make sure that they are up to date and ready to go. Another item required to have on our vessel is a horn or a whistle. This gives us a way to signal if we need help. Last on our list of the required items to have on our vessel is properly working nighttime navigation lights. Have a safe day on the water.
And now, time for the Living Grand on Grand Lake events page. Cars for Critters Indoor Car Show at the Grove Civic Center is coming up Saturday, August 18th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. It's all to benefit Second Chance Pet Rescue. The car show's free to attend. Along with American classic cars, you're going to find good food, music, raffles, and dog adoptions looking for forever homes. Visit doitforthedogs.com or contact Ivan Devitt at 918-791-8328. Tom. The 5th annual 5K Sunset Dam Run Walk supporting Grand Lake Fireworks is set for Saturday, September 22nd in Disney, Oklahoma. Registration and the starting line are located at Cherokee State Park in Disney, right by the Pensacola Dam, with all proceeds benefiting Grand Lake Fireworks, Inc. for the 2019 Grand Lake Fireworks display. Visit GrandLakesFireworks.com for more information. Well, that's it for now from the Living Grand on Grand Lake events page. Welcome back to Mid-America Industrial Park's Living Grand on Grand Lake, presented by Cherokee Grove Casino.
Grove Dental Associates has been attracting people to their office for years, not just for their highly skilled dentists and hygienists, but for their beautiful Japanese-inspired building and surrounding gardens. When they outgrew their office and needed to expand, we knew their team would do something amazing, and they did not disappoint. Their new contemporary modern facility is Frank Lloyd Wright inspired and is located just on the other side of their Japanese garden. They offer the very latest in dental technology, and with gorgeous views from every room, a trip to the dentist has become a peaceful and relaxing experience.
The first question is always what's best for the patient, and the technology advancements have just been in all medical areas, but specifically dentists, are just so rapid. Our old building, it just became so difficult to maintain or to modify.
What we really wanted for our patients was to offer them an environment that was unique and was way more comfortable than they were used to when they go visit a dentist or a medical professional. We want it to be very open, so we have the high ceilings, and we wanted it to be inviting for the children. Alleviate fears, I guess, is what we wanted to accomplish.
We are a special practice in that we are a second generation practice. Dr. Leonard Miller started the practice in the 70s, which is phenomenal. And his son, stayed in Grove, completed his dental training at Oklahoma, at the University of Oklahoma. So he's our second generation, and then attracted Dr. Stan and Audrey Crawford, who are newer to Grove, but Oklahomans, and have been here 25 years.
Well, we really had humble beginnings. My wife and I came through Grove. I started looking around, and what a beautiful place. We decided we'd come here, and we just hung our shingle out and started a practice. After a couple of years, I got to know Rick Miller, my partner now, and we got together and put our minds together and thought if we could come together, we could afford better technology, a more comfortable space for our patients, and that's how we started.
And then 2 years ago, we attracted a fourth dentist, an associate that had grown up in Alta, southwestern Oklahoma. So he loved the water, and we're fortunate to get him to come to town. But it's been a tremendous addition to our services and to our patients. We're one of the first practices in the state or the Midwest to have three-dimensional scan. It's more of a CAT scan that dental. It's a diagnostic tool that's just incredibly, gives us treatment capacity for diagnosis. But it just opened a whole other area.
Sure, orthodontics has changed a bunch, and there's a lot of new techniques and new thoughts about orthodontics these days. And now we have the ability to use just the clear trays. You've probably seen the name Invisalign, and that's what we use here. But it's you don't have the discomfort of the brackets and the wires. You snap the trays in your mouth and go on. You can do function and speak and do all the things you'd normally do without people even knowing that they're in there. And so that's been a great thing to offer to patients.
We sell technology, and that's kind of what we have the latest and greatest X-ray technology. Our new facility is all state-of-the-art, and we've always done that. We've always embraced technology.
I'll tell you, it's been a great blessing to work with my wife. She's a wonderful dentist. She sees most of the children in the practice, and she loves seeing the kids, and she's got lots of methods to get them comfortable and distracted, and she's really changed the way kids perceive their dental visits. But she's also treats periodontal disease with the laser, and now she's beginning to do something. You talked about technology, using the laser. We're discovering that a lot of kids' breathing problems or speech problems are caused by tongue ties, and how important that is to recognize early. It can also lead to breathing disorders. So with her laser now, she's able to release that, and it almost painlessly do that. She's done as small as infants to adults. One of our parts of our mission statement, which is over on our door, is we discover the uniqueness of each patient. And we try to do that, and I really enjoy meeting people, new people, and talking to them and getting to know them. You know, this area has people from all over the country that come to retire here. And so you might get someone from California or New York or Kansas City that have relocated here, and it's a great time and a great way to meet new people and get to know them.
I'm asked often, how'd I end up in Grove? And I say the grace of God. I just love it here. It's wet and green and beautiful, but we just have phenomenal people. You know, I'm so proud to be an Oklahoman, but every day I just love coming to work. You know, we're gonna have 70 patients a day. You know, 5 days a week, we're gonna have a huge patient load. I'm gonna try to meet you if it's raining, I'm gonna meet you in the parking lot with an umbrella, but we just have the most amazing patients and just wanna care for them. You know, just embrace them and give them the best care you can. And sincerely care about our patients.
Grove Dental provides an environment inside and out that promotes health and wellness. They're located just 1 block off of Main on Heffelman Drive. They work with most insurance plans and welcome patients of all ages. Find them on Facebook or visit grovedental.associates.com for more information. And while you're online, check us out. Visit us at rsu.tv. You can find all episodes from each of our seasons under the Programs tab on our website. Stay with us. We'll be right back with more on Living Grand on Grand Lake.
This is Living Grand on Grand Lake.
This is Living Grand on Grand Lake.
Grand Lake's newest destination for great fun is located just off the lake in Grove. At Cherokee Casino Grove, you'll experience exceptional food and outstanding service. Stop in to relax with your favorite drink and root for your team on the big screen. Experience live local music on the 1897 stage every weekend. Cherokee Casino Grove on Highway 59 at East 250 Road. It's the most fun you'll have off the water.
After finishing high school, I immediately got married and started my family. Without a college degree, I found that pretty quickly my options were limited. When I started looking around for a college program for working adults, I quickly found that Rogers State was a great fit. They worked with me to get financial aid, offered classes that fit my busy schedule, and gave me personalized attention that I couldn't get at a larger school. Rogers State definitely started me on my professional career.
Every day, the employees of the Grand River Dam Authority strive for excellence by focusing on the 5 E's: employees, electricity, environmental stewardship, economic development, and efficiency. We do this by producing low-cost, reliable electricity that touches 75 of the 77 counties in the state. At no cost to the taxpayers, we also manage 70,000 surface acres of lakes and the scenic Illinois River. Annually, the efforts of Team GRDA facilitate over $450 million in economic activity for Oklahoma.
Welcome back to Mid-America Industrial Park's Living Grand on Grand Lake, presented by Cherokee Grove Casino.
When a building with some personal history became available, Bailey and Lori Stanfield decided to make their dreams come true and opened the Blind Swine. After an extensive remodel, the Blind Swine is open and serving guests with their handcrafted cocktails made from seasonally fresh produce and herbs. Their homemade food is to die for, and the ambiance can't be beat. With fabulous craft cocktails and a delicious menu, the Blind Swine is a great place to catch up with friends or grab a bite to eat.
me and my wife back in, I think it was 2000. She was cocktail waitress here, and we had known each other from high school. But I walked in the door one night, and there was this pretty cocktail waitress, and I was like, man, she looks familiar.
Yes, he was just another guy playing pool that I was waiting on. I knew him from high school, but nothing more. The friend that he was with had kind of given me a heads up that she was thinking about bringing someone out to meet me. But, you know, he asked me out on a date, and he had really good hair. So I said yes.
We ended up, I was a DJ here back in like 2001. She was bartending and cocktailing. And then we moved to Fayetteville, Arkansas, and we got married, and the rest is history, I guess, so. It was kind of, I think it was kind of my idea. I don't know, I had seen this building have trouble, you know, ever since we moved back here about 8 years ago. I kind of knew the guy that owned the building, and gave him a call, and we went and sat down, and we had so much construction material from her business, and it's pretty much all reclaimed stuff that has been used in homes out here on the island. You know, and with my knowledge of the business, I was just like, you know, why not?
I helped run a construction company for 5 to 6 years out here on the island, and was a bit of a hoarder. Everything that people wanted to get rid of, I just have trouble throwing things away sometimes when I see the potential in them. So when I get the opportunity to do a remodel that I can put my stamp on, it's a lot of fun for me. And I kind of took the vision that I knew that he was seeing and tried to create that in a big metal building. So we've had a lot of fun with that.
We do a lot of pork. We also do a few chicken dishes for, you know, the lighter side of things. We have really good pulled pork here. We do some pulled pork sliders with coleslaw on top of it with our signature swine sauce. And they come on King's Hawaiian rolls, which they're really tasty, really good seller. What else? We have our pork shanks, which is the leg of the pig. And we toss those and dress them like you would chicken wings with buffalo or the spicy Asian or barbecue sauce. Those really sell well. So we, you know, our kitchen guys really, they have their work cut out for them. But we have great food.
You know, I knew that we would get a lot of local support. He met a lot of people through other places that he worked out here. I met a lot of people doing the business that I was doing, but I just am always overwhelmed by the amount of local support that we get. And, you know, word of mouth was huge for us in the very beginning, and it hasn't stopped. And so I wouldn't say I'm surprised, but I'm very gracious to everyone that supports us. And it lets me know that we are filling a need, you know, and that they keep coming back. You know, to a certain point, it's like they must really like it here. They don't just like us, they really like it here. So that's been a nice awakening, really.
We have a really good local following that, you know, care about us, and we care about them, you know. We also have 5 children that we have to feed. So that's a pretty damn good motivator for us. But you know, when you can come to work and love what you do, man, there's just nothing else. And I've worked in this business for a long time, and I don't know that I've ever had that feeling. Of course, it's frustrating, you know, at times, but just to be able to, you know, come to work and know it's yours and you own it, try to do the best that you can, you know, it's a good feeling.
I hope that they can have stories about meeting their significant other here, or the memories that they made. You know, we do have families that come in here, and I want to be an icon on Monkey Island, on Grand Lake. You know, so in 10 years, I hope that people can talk about going to the Swine and, oh, you remember that, or this, or we've got to go out there and see this band. So we're just trying to really dig our roots in here.
To learn more about the Blind Swine, check them out on Facebook. They often feature a live band and also offer a karaoke night. Well, that's it for this edition of Living Grand on Grand Lake. We hope you enjoyed learning more about everyone's favorite lake. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again next week.
Mid-America Industrial Park's Living Grand on Grand Lake is presented by Cherokee Grove Casino and made possible by
The Tech Lab is specifically designed to be able to build drones. We have the opportunity at each workstation to 3D print any drone body that a learner could imagine. The sponsors for this lab are Mid-America Industrial Park and Google. They have been absolute phenomenal partners in this endeavor.
The ribbon cutting today is important because it represents not only collaboration between our businesses and Mid-America and the community, but it also represents the STEM initiative that we have promoted throughout the school system, which essentially gives kids the skill sets necessary to have a career in technology. This is the most rewarding part of my job because this is the future.
also by
Every day, the employees of the Grand River Dam Authority strive for excellence by focusing on the 5 E's: employees, electricity, environmental stewardship, economic development, and efficiency. We do this by producing low-cost, reliable electricity that touches 75 of the 77 counties in the state. At no cost to the taxpayers, we also manage 70,000 surface acres of lakes and the scenic Illinois River. Annually, the efforts of Team GRDA facilitate over $450 million in economic activity for Oklahoma.
Plus by
I had the drive to boost my earning power.
I was driven to be more competitive in the job market.
Finishing my degree, that's what drives me.
If you left college without a degree, Reach Higher, Oklahoma's degree completion program, can change your life. You get affordable tuition, flexible class schedules with online options, and a degree from a state university.
I was driven to earn my diploma.
And I did it.
Apply today at reachhigheroklahoma.org. Let your drive drive you.
And by viewers and members like you.